Okay, so I will call the meeting to order and ask for roll call.
All right, Chris Diana, Robert Freeman, Patricia Jones,
Here.
Ann Silvis,
Here.
John Williams.
Here.
Thank you, and we have a quorum. So the agenda, the first item, business item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of our previous meeting. So we have two documents that you got in the packet. One is the public hearing that we had on September 24th that was just prior to our meeting. So is there a motion for approval of the notes for that public hearing?
Move to approve.
Thank you, Patty.
Yep.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Deshawn. Is there any discussion about the minutes from the public hearing that was September 24th? No discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. So the ayes have it, and the minutes from the public hearing of September 24th are approved. And then the other set of minutes we have are from the regular meeting that we had on September 24th. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes from the regular meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting.
Thank you.
September
Deshawn, is
24th.
there a second?
I second.
Patty. So there's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of the minutes from the meeting on September 24th? No discussion? All in favor of approval of the meeting minutes from September 24th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it, and the minutes from our September 24th regular meeting are also approved. Are there any additions to the agenda for this evening?
There are not.
Okay, thank you. And there's no one here for public input, but was any public input received as email?
There was not.
Okay. And that takes us to presentations. Are there any presentations?
No.
Okay. And then that takes us to the staff report.
Yep. So at our last meeting, you heard a bit about our upcoming consolidated plan. Just provided an overview of what the plan is and our timeline for getting it out the door. So we just wanted to provide a quick update on some of the things we've been working on related to the consolidated plan since the last meeting. So we're well underway on drafting the plan. I think still on good pace to have a draft published early next year. We've been having some pretty detailed sit-downs with different service providers throughout the community. So a summary of the input we've received from those things will be included in our draft plan. One thing I definitely wanted to mention tonight, as we mentioned at the last meeting, we have a community needs survey that's currently available. If you look at page 9 of the packet, there's a flyer for our community needs survey, which we mailed out to our target areas and have also been sharing through social media. So there's a QR code and a link there. That's going to be open through the end of the month. After that, we'll be wrapping it up so we can kind of analyze that data in time to incorporate that feedback into our draft plan. So that would be a great way for folks to give us input. But again, just a few more days where that's going to be open. Thus far, we've received a little bit under 200 responses. So I'd say a pretty good response so far.
So is that limited to responses from the service area, or do you want it more broadly distributed?
So we would prefer that responses generally be coming from the consortium area, but just as a reminder, that would include the city of Urbana, the city of Champaign, and then unincorporated parts of Champaign County. And then if there are, one thing this survey does is it prompts different questions to people who indicate that they're service providers working in the area, and then kind of asks more targeted questions to that specific subset. So that's another population that we're really trying to get feedback from.
Okay, so we could share this widely in our networks.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that clarification. Anything else on the staff report?
That's all for this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any unfinished business to come before the commission this evening?
No.
Okay. And new business, I see we have 2 items under new business. Do you want to take those one by one and walk us through those?
Yeah, so I'll actually speak about both of those at once because they're closely related. They both pertain to development of a new affordable housing project in the city of Champaign. This would be phase 2 of Parker Glen. This is an affordable housing development that's located on J.T. Kaufman Drive in Champaign, just off of North Neal, nearby Marketplace Mall. So the first item on the agenda is a subrecipient agreement with the city of Champaign for a contribution of $50,000 of their share of the consortium's home funds to this development. Just a little bit more about this development. Phase 1 was completed last fall and consists of 64 affordable units, a mixture of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom. The second phase would be 2 buildings consisting of a total of 56 affordable units, again, a mixture of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Other funding for this would primarily be coming through the 9% affordable housing tax credit. And they anticipate that this second phase would likely be completed with construction in 2026. The $50,000 that's being proposed to be committed to this development would effectively be subsidizing 1 unit within the overall development, and that unit would then be subject to the home program regulations regarding income caps, which would be 80% of the area median income, and then rents in that unit would also be limited to HUD's rent limits for the home program. Just for reference, those are included in the memo here. But for example, a 2-bedroom unit would currently be capped at $967 in Champaign County. That's a bit below market rate. And then that is updated annually. In accordance with the home program, this would also have a 20-year affordability period. With the home program, the affordability period that's required changes corresponding to the amount of funds that are being invested per unit. So 20 years is the amount that corresponds with the $50,000 investment. And then just as a reminder, about why we're reviewing an agreement for a development in Champaign for anyone who may be listening. While this is in the city of Champaign as the lead consortium entity, the city of Urbana is responsible for reviewing and executing all home-related program agreements. So that includes the city of Champaign. In the past, we have contributed funds to other developments in Champaign, most recently the Bristol Seniors development. So again, in the packet, there is a subrecipient agreement, which would be an agreement between the city of Urbana and the city of Champaign. And then there's a developer agreement with Woda Cooper, who would be the actual developer of this affordable housing development. And then both of those agreements just kind of outline the home program regulations as they relate to the development. So staff find that commitment of these funds would be generally consistent with the affordable housing goals we've identified in the last consolidated plan, as well as Urbana City Council goals related to promotion of affordable housing. So we are recommending forwarding both of these resolutions to Committee of the Whole with a recommendation of approval. So that's a general overview, but happy to answer any questions as well.
So we could have, can we do this, both of these in one motion, or do you want us to do those separately?
So I believe the correct order of procedure there is you can vote on them together, but you would need to make a motion to create an omnibus bundling the resolutions.
Okay, so maybe we'll just do them one by one. Okay,
That works too.
okay. So is there a motion regarding the first item?
I move to approve the resolution to approve and authorize the execution of the Urbana Home Consortium subrecipient agreement on behalf of the city of Champaign, item 1 on the agenda.
Thank you, Patty. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Deshawn. Is there discussion about item number 1? Thank you, Nick, for describing it.
Okay, the summary.
Yeah, that's good to have that reminder of why we're contributing those funds. Any other discussion? No? Okay. All in favor of the motion to approve or recommend for approval, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So the ayes have it, and item number 1 is approved for a recommendation for approval. We approve for recommendation of approval. How about item 2? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution approving the authorizing the execution of an Urbana Home Consortium Rental Housing Developer Agreement.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. So is there discussion around item 2? Okay. All in favor of the motion to approve this resolution and send it on for approval, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So the ayes have it, and item number 2 is approved. Passed, motion passes. Okay, so is there anything else to come before the commission before we adjourn? That's the end of our agenda.
Not this evening.
Okay, well, then, having exhausted our agenda, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.